Welcome to Canada, where your government thinks you're too dangerous to own a hunting rifle, but apparently it's perfectly fine to spend billions arming civilians halfway across the world. Because nothing screams public safety like confiscating grandpa's duck gun while shipping crates of rifles to Ukraine. Let's start with the numbers, because hypocrisy tastes better when it's quantified. In August 2025, Ottawa proudly announced a $2 billion military aid package to Ukraine. Drones, armored vehicles, munitions, the works. Then in December 2025, another $200 million pledge through NATO's shopping list. That's taxpayer money buying weapons for foreign civilians. Since 2022, Canada has shelled out over $22 billion in aid, much of it military hardware. So abroad, weapons are framed as tools for freedom, survival, resistance. Civilians with rifles, heroes. But here at home, civilians with rifles, criminals in waiting. Do you see the problem? Now let's pivot back to the Great White North. Bill C-21, handgun freeze, red flag laws, tougher penalties. 2020 Order in Council ban, over 1,500 models of so-called assault-style firearms outlawed. And of course, the mandatory buyback program, Ottawa's way of saying, thanks for following the rules, now hand over your property. Law-abiding hunters, sport shooters, farmers, people who already passed background checks, safety courses, licensing are treated like ticking time bombs. Meanwhile, gangs with smuggled pistols, untouched. Criminals don't line up at buyback counters. Now to the economic absurdity. Here's the kicker. The buyback is funded with, you guessed it, your tax dollars. So you pay for the gun once legally, then Ottawa confiscates it, then they use your tax money to compensate you, usually at a fraction of its real value. And while you're getting shortchanged, the same government is happily wiring billions overseas to buy weapons at full price for foreign civilians. It's like being mugged by your own government, then being billed for the privilege. Of course, they wrap it all in the shiny bow of public safety. Stats Canada shows most gun crime in Canada involves illegal handguns and smuggled weapons. Not grandpa's hunting rifle. Not the sport shooter's AR clone locked in a safe. RCMP's own reports admit bans on assault-style firearms have negligible impacts on gang violence. But hey, why let facts get in the way of a good virtue signal? So guns abroad equals safety, but at home, guns equal danger? That's not policy again, it's theater. Let's talk about the narrative split. In Ukraine, civilians with rifles are freedom fighters. In Canada, civilians with rifles are public threats. Same government, same decade, completely opposite messaging. It's like Ottawa has multiple personality disorder. We love armed civilians, we hate armed civilians, depending on which border you're standing behind. So what's the net effect? Law-abiding citizens punished, criminals untouched, taxpayers robbed. Billions spent abroad to arm civilians while billions spent at home to disarm civilians. It's hypocrisy so thick you could spread it on toast. And the worst part, they actually expect us to clap while they do it. So here's the reality. Canada's buyback isn't about safety. It's about optics. It's about control. It's about punishing the most responsible segment of society while ignoring the actual source of violence. Meanwhile, the same politicians who tell you guns are dangerous are literally buying them for civilians overseas, not to mention having them all around at all times for their safety. If that doesn't make your blood boil, check your pulse, because this isn't just bad policy, it's betrayal. And the next time Ottawa tells you it's all about public safety, remember, safety for who? Because apparently, safety for Ukrainians means rifles in their hands. Safety for Canadians means rifles in the shredder. Welcome to Canada's billion-dollar hypocrisy. Hit like if you're tired of being treated like the problem. Subscribe if you want more data-backed breakdowns of government nonsense. And drop a comment because I want to know how you would describe this absolute circus. If you've had enough, join the fight, make your voice heard, and let these politicians know that we have had enough.